salute. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for being here. This video is like really for the guys, so let's just go ahead and be honest. With that being said, I'm gonna do a two-part video on this because it's gonna take me quite some time. I'm estimating about 40 minutes between two videos, so I'm gonna break it into parts 1 and 2. I'm gonna talk about do not be played for a sucker here in Thailand. Many guys do get played. Women get played too, but for the most part, you know, I'm not like trying to, it's not a competition. This is in no way any disrespect, but I'm gonna break this down and talk about some of the stories that I hear, some of the stories I've seen, and how you need to conduct yourself, especially if you want to date Thai women or especially live here, or if you think that you can manage dating a Thai woman from abroad, like, and she lives here and you live there, it's not gonna happen, my friend. And a lot of guys fall for this trap. It just happens. So that, with that being said, I'm gonna review a video from one of my favorite channels. That is Thai Talks with Dan. He lives here in Thailand. He's been here about 7 years, and people send in their stories all the time. He has endless content. So go check out his channel. Link in the description. Thai Talks with Dan. Most of the stories he talks about are people getting rinsed, and it's things you need to hear. You need to understand the patterns and what to look out for, the red flags and stuff like that, because a lot of guys do get played for suckers here. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the video. Like I said, Thai Talks with Dan. He's going to break down the story. I'm going to listen to as much as I can. I'm going to stop, talk about it, but not talk too much. And he's going to put you on game. And then the second part, I'm going to run an interview with an actual Thai woman who speaks the truth, who will absolutely back up this stuff. As I said, this is not just some one-off story from him or from, you know, what's coming from part 2. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get to it. Let's go.
From an English-speaking country. I've been going to Thailand now for about 12 years and plan to retire early and young enough to enjoy the rest of my life and move to Thailand, hopefully, next year. Now, this is one of the reasons I'm trying to meet a Thai girl. Late last year, I connected with a girl on Thai Friendly. We quickly got off Thai Friendly and messaged each other often using the messaging application Line. When we ended up meeting, when I was in Jomtien on Christmas holidays, I got a big surprise on just how beautiful she was. I even got a nod from a Thai fella on her. She looked so sweet and innocent, like butter would not melt in her mouth.
Shit, here we go again.
Now she was 47, divorced. Apparently, he cheated.
Bullshit.
2 grown-up kids living in Bangkok. She told me she had been single for 10 years and never dated a Phalang before.
How does she speak English?
I smell bullshit.
She also did not drink or smoke. She's from a village about 40 minutes out of Ubon, Ratchathani. Yet, she lived in Ubon City, renting, had a car, 2 Apple iPhones, one fairly new and the other a bit older.
She had a burner, bro.
Her name is Wawa. The reason why I'm giving out her name is because she needs to be exposed as the liar and hustler that she is. Plus, one or more of your viewers probably has crossed paths with her. Anyway, we met in Jomtien while I was on Christmas holiday. After we met, we chatted for a bit, went and had dinner, then went to a bar so I could have a beer. While at the bar, she was all over me, couldn't keep her hands off me, rubbing my arms up and down, rubbing my legs up and down, putting her arms around me. She was all over me. She was very affectionate. She was whispering sweet nothings in my ear like she had been waiting her entire life to meet someone like me.
Someone like you.
She said how I was so handsome and how she wanted to be with me for the rest of her life and for us to live together when I moved to Thailand. We went back to my hotel and we spent the night together.
They'll tell you
But
anything.
She wouldn't let me have aerobics with her. We spent the remaining time that I was in Thailand together, which was about 10 days.
No boom boom.
Every day, night, every minute, and had a great time and got along so well.
It's not good, bro. Not good, man. Not good.
I literally thought that I had hit the jackpot. I thought I had met a good one. When it come time to leave, we went to the airport and she was crying when I left. She told me that she loved me, which I thought was strange as we had only spent 2 weeks together. It was certainly not long enough to develop those kind of feelings, at least in my view. While I was back home, we messaged multiple times a day, video chatted, etc. She kept telling me how much she loved me, and she asked me if I loved her, to which I said, no, I did not love her. She did not like that response, and she was saying how much she wanted me to love her and that she would make me fall in love with her and spend the rest of our lives together.
She's gonna
Now,
try.
she did know of my plans to retire and live in Thailand. Things were going great, but there was something that was not right, and that was she kept accusing me of being a butterfly.
Pause. I have to pause. A butterfly. This is a very common term that you're gonna hear. Butterfly means someone who goes from woman to woman, or a woman can be a butterfly. She's gonna have multiple men. Many of the women are butterflies, but typically the butterflies are the ones that accuse you of being a butterfly. So, with that said, like, it's obvious who, some young Chad, Thunderstorm comes on the scene, 2-week holiday, throwing money around and all that stuff. He's gonna be a butterfly. Everyone knows this, but he understands the game. He's not gonna fall in love. He's gonna have fun. He's gonna get on the plane and go. He's not gonna contact these chicks. He's not gonna be on dating apps. So this is very crucial. Butterfly is a term that you need to know about Thailand. Thailand is a label. Being labeled a butterfly is kind of a bad thing, like on the bad reputation side, but sometimes people will use this to gaslight you. A woman will call you a butterfly to make you feel insecure about her because you're going to think, oh, she's calling me butterfly, and then you're going to try to prove your loyalty to her while in the meantime, man, she's the unloyal one. She's the butterfly. So without further ado, let's get back to it. Let's go.
Cheating and being with other women. When we first met, she said that she thought I was a butterfly. Aside from this odd behaviour, I did not have any concerns and I did not have any reason to not trust her, and as such, I put my trust in her in a big way, and this was a big mistake. So, I returned to Thailand in April for Songkran. She asked me if I would like to go to Ubon Ratchathani for part of the Songkran festival, as there were many merit-making events during this time. Now, I hadn't been to Ubon before and thought, why not? When I arrived at the airport and was expecting a big hug and kiss hello, as we hadn't seen each other since Christmas, New Year's, but the greeting I received was nothing short of the opposite. The greeting that I did receive was cold. I did not get a hug and I did not get a kiss. Nothing. And this is from someone that was supposed to be in love with me.
Are you stupid or something?
Stupid is, stupid does, sir.
Now, I was not particularly happy about the greeting I got, but I put it to the back of my mind and moved on and hoped things would improve. I fully expected that we would be staying at a house, condo, or wherever it was that she lived, but instead, she gave me an excuse that her son was there and we can't stay there, so we had to stay in a hotel.
Her boyfriend
We eventually
was there.
went to her family's house where I met the family and friends, but not her children. The women were talking about me, and her sister said that I looked like a butterfly. I couldn't believe this when I was told and tried to reassure that I wasn't. So I partied with the family for Songkran, drinking a lot and getting mau mau with them. After spending about a week together, I was seeing that this wasn't the same girl I met just a short few months ago. She wasn't showing me the same level of affection. She would barely touch me. She wouldn't let me kiss her, and she cited that it was my stubble that irritated her, but she didn't seem to mind it last time. The entire duration of my 3-week stay was like this. After I returned back home, I knew something was wrong, but I could not put my finger on it. One evening, she sent me a message, but it was in German. I asked, why are you sending me messages in German? And she said she thought it was English, and then out of nowhere, without prodding or prompting, professed that she wasn't talking with anyone else.
German sponsor alert.
There was not anyone else, and that it was just the two of us. My radar was popping off. I broke up with her because the frequency of messages I was getting from her was less and less, and the message content, what she was saying in those messages, was also less and less.
Because he's busy.
I was infatuated with this girl. She had me hooked, and after 4 days of not communicating with each other, I caved in and contacted her. She was not that receptive, but replied anyway. I was watching her social media, as by this time I had big trust issues. I'm glad that I was monitoring her. It was a Monday night, and she sent me a message saying, I'm staying at my mum's house tonight because I need to take her to see the doctor tomorrow. Now, I did not have any reason to not believe her, so I thought to myself, sure, okay. The next day, Tuesday, I was off sick from work with the flu, and I'm glad I was not at work because what happened next changed everything. There was a post on her Facebook profile by another man, a German bloke declaring his love for her.
What do you know?
And that he and her are in a relationship. I could not believe what I was seeing. There were also photos of the two of them together at a bar in Bangkok. I put a comment on the post asking what the hell was going on. So I directly messaged the guy, telling him that I was with her and that I recently returned from Thailand after spending 2 weeks with her. He wanted to see photos, which I sent to him. He said, that's it, I'm leaving and going back to Germany.
All right, that's I'm gonna forward the video, but that's a hilarious insult, if you will. Like soy dog, soy ma here is pretty low. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go out and you see like 6 dogs fighting over trash cans and stuff in the streets, it's a pretty big insult. But it's funny as hell. But I'm gonna let him finish. As I said, I'm in part 1 of this video. I got to try to keep it moving along, guys. This is why you don't date online, number 1. Online dating, not here. This is a mistake. If you don't live here, like, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. I'm not saying you own it or anyway. I'm not talking about, but like, you don't have a relationship for 99% of the cases, you know, with a woman in another country. Like, if you live in another country and she lives here, you can just forget it, bro. To me, it's a mistake. And these women will play men. And I'm not even bashing the women. What I'm saying is that they're going to take advantage of, you know, if guys are going to be dumb enough to give up their resources and stuff. And I know I've met women with several sponsors, like multiple, 3, 4, 5. I saw one girl in a coffee shop and she was sitting on a laptop. And this was about a year ago. This was in Neiman, a coffee shop. She's sitting there on her laptop and she's busting out laughing hysterically. And I mean, she's sitting right next to me, and I kind of looked over, and she's kind of mumbling under her breath, "You big dummy." And I looked at her, and I said, I asked her, I said, "What, you texted your boyfriends or something?" Like, I made a joke, a crack, and she started laughing. She spins her laptop, and she was literally copying and pasting the same love letter to like 10 different dudes. The same exact. She wrote one love letter. She's copying and pasting it and sending it to all these different dudes in different countries, and they're all sending her money. All of these guys are sending her monthly income, if you will, sponsors, if you will, just because they come on holiday, 2 weeks of the year. Of course, the women are going to play this game. This is not all. I'm just telling you what to watch out for. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let him finish talking, in his video, and we'll get on to like finish up part 1, and then I'll get into part 2. I'll probably upload that tomorrow. So let's do it.
Right, Ross, thanks very much for sending in your story, and it's quite a simple one to explain. This woman was on a dating application trying to find a foreigner and trying to find the best foreigner, i.e. the guy that's going to support her the most. You was only supporting her with 10,000 bahts. That's not really the going rate. It's incredible how much some of these women can get. 10,000 is normally the cheapest that they get per month.
That's nothing.
But on an average, I would say around about 25 to 30,000, but some of them can get 50,000 or even 100,000 baht. I've known quite a few Thai women actually getting 100,000 baht per month. Some of them even 200,000 baht per month. All depends on how young and beautiful they are.
That's a lot of money.
Now, this German guy obviously was paying out more money than you, and that's why she chose him. However, if you can have 2 guys paying out, then they're going to choose that. At the end of the day, you're not living over here in Thailand. She's only going to see you now and again. So all she's got to do is send the odd messages, the odd stuff, etc. And see you when you do decide to come over and make lies up and stories up to spend that time with you, so that 10,000 baht keeps coming each and every month. Now, this German guy is obviously willing to take her over to Germany. So he's offering her the dream and he is fulfilling that role. And unfortunately, in regards to you, the only role you was fulfilling at that time was 10,000 baht per month, as she didn't have the patience to wait for you. But this older smoking German was obviously willing to whisk her off to Germany and give her more than likely what she's looking for. And if that ever stops, I'm sure there'll be another guy that she's speaking to in line for her to jump over to. It's just the way that it works, and that's why you have to be very, 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 very careful, especially on the dating applications, because these women, more than likely, already have a foreign boyfriend.
Don't use dating apps here.
Foreign men.
Don't do
and
it.
if you're not living over here, and you're only going to be coming for 1 month every 6 months or 1 month a year, and they can get you to send 12 months of monthly payments over, then they are going to. At the end of the day, it only requires a few video calls and a few chats, and it's better than going working in a factory for 10, 11, 12 hours a day, just speaking to some foreigner from the other side of the world who will come over once a year, take them to Phuket for a holiday, for example, take them to the jewellery shop when they visit, take them to nice hotels and restaurants. I think you catch my drift. It's worth it for them.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, they want someone to take care of them and give them that monthly allowance. And that's why I always try to say to guys, if you want a genuine relationship with a Thai woman, then do not become a monthly sponsor. Guys, let us know what you think about this story yourself down below.
Yeah, guys, that sums up that video, and this is gonna I'm gonna close this out. Go check out Thai Talks with Dan. This is 100% facts. There are many stories on his channel about this. I mean, he uploads daily. Guys coming over here doing the same shit, playing stupid games, winning stupid prizes. But you can't blame the women either. I'm not giving them a pass. But at the same time, if you don't know what to look out for, I mean, you're going to get taken down through there, bro. I'm telling you, man, the worst thing you can do is to come here and fall in love on a holiday or to go on a damn dating app. Like it's ridiculous. This myth of, I'm going to go on an online dating site and find my, soulmate in another country. It's dude, it's not going to happen. I'm not saying that there isn't 0.00001% chance it happened. It probably 30 years ago, maybe 1%. But even especially today, it's not going to happen. So don't be a sucker when you come here. I'm telling you, man. Like if you see those red flags, like the woman did give off plenty of red flags, behavior changes. You can't meet my kids. I'm just saying, or like not contacting him for 4 days at a time, dry texting him and stuff like that, or especially that random German message. Holy crap. I had a chick way back do that shit to me. I mean, I didn't even care. Like, I wasn't dating her. I mean, it's just a chick I had some fun with for a while, and she just, like, I got a random message in Spanish. I was like, what the fuck? But I knew what it was. I'm just saying, hey, you meant to send that to your other boyfriend. I made some joke about it. Like, I don't care. If I commit to this type of woman, it would be a different story. But what I'm trying to say is, you got to look out for these things. And most women will give this away in the beginning, especially if you live here. There is a big difference between living here and coming on holiday and coming for even a few months a year. If you're not here all the time to see the daily patterns, the behaviors, things like that, you're not going to understand it, and you're going to be taken for a fool. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out part 1. Let me know what you think. Part 2 coming next. I love you guys, and I'm out.